Oh my God, you guys, 90 Day Fiance The Other Way was just on, and let me tell you what, I am just done with Ariella. Let's not waste any time and jump right into what just went down on the last episode and why I am just sick and tired of Ariella from 90 Day Fiance, because you guys, we just got to see in the last episode, her and Biniyam, they had the baby. It is an adorable baby boy. I think he is really sweet and cute, and you can see Biniyam, he loves this baby dearly, and hey, you know, so does Ariella. She really loves her son too, but after that, oh my God, I cannot stand her. I mean, it is one thing after another with her. She complains and she complains and she complains. Nothing is ever happy. Nothing is ever good. And it's like, you know, she has one of the most patient, one of the nicest guys to be on 90 Day Fiance in Biniyam, and she is still never happy. We just saw, like I said, they had the baby, then they came back home with the baby, and number one, first thing, you know, they don't have a car seat. And I don't know why they don't have a car seat. Obviously, I think Biniyam just didn't plan ahead, but they did not have a car seat. And so Biniyam's friend comes to the hospital to pick them up. And by them, I mean him and Ari and then the new baby. But once again, no car seat. So Ariella is like, you know, geez, we should not be driving in a car without a car seat. So she forces Biniyam to walk over to their house with the baby, which he was just like, you know, what if I fell? What if I tripped and I'm carrying this baby? He was thinking that is not safer than me just holding the baby in the car while my friend drives really slow. So we can agree and disagree on that first topic, but right from the get-go, she was mad. Then they get back to their place, and I get it, I'm sure she's tired, but they get to their place, and his entire family is there trying to greet the baby and meet the baby and do this and that, and she was just not feeling it. But hey, even if you guys want to say, well, she was probably just tired, because sure, she probably was. Then all of Biniyam's aunts ask Ariella, well, hey, are you going to baptize the baby? And she was just basically just saying, no, I'm not having it. And it's like everything with Ariella. It's her way or the highway. And Biniyam apparently has no say. Thank God for Biniyam, though. It does sound like that she's going to be okay with the baptism, I believe. But still, they had to do a lot of bickering. He had to completely beg, and finally, she finally caved. But more on that in a couple of seconds. So she was not feeling the aunts. She felt awkward. She felt uncomfortable. The aunts leave. Then they were talking about the baptism. They were also talking about a little procedure that I cannot name the name on this video, but they were talking about a procedure that boys get after a couple days after they're born. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They were talking about having that done to their son, which I don't know anything about it. If you can't tell, I am not a doctor. I just kind of thought that is a common, universally common thing. And Ariel was like, you know, no, I don't want to do that because I want to give my son the choice if he wants to do that to himself. And I heard that and I'm just thinking, I mean, like, he's a baby boy. They have that done when they're babies. Why and how and who and where and what that doesn't make any sense. I mean, he can't choose that. He is a baby, and I don't think you can get those things downstairs when you're like an adult. So I don't even know what she was talking about, but it was one thing after the other where she was mad or she wasn't happy or she was crying. And let me just say too, we saw when Biniyam's family did the whole thing with the goat. That was disgusting and gross and not cool. So I can kind of understand why she was upset then, but everything else, I mean, oh my God, is she ever going to be happy? She has some serious issues with her emotions. Now, y'all can call me mean and rude. I don't really care. I cannot stand her. I am over it. And after we saw, you know, what happened when they went to the hospital so the baby could have that little procedure, you know, what happened was they went back so everything could happen. And then she was kind of like, you know what? She goes, the baby's so peaceful. I don't want to ruin his peace. So she grabbed the baby and she ran out of the hospital, and the doctor and the nurses, and even Biniyam were like, what are you doing? We're here. They are going to do this little thing and then we can go home and it's not that big of a deal. But she flipped out once again. She got all dramatic. She got all emotional. And just yet again, it proves my point. I can't stand her. So I am just so sick and tired. We went into this season thinking that Biniyam might have been using Ariella, but I'm starting to kind of think it is just flip-flopped. I think Biniyam is getting the short end of the stick. He can't ever be right. He can't ever have his way. I mean, even in the last episode, we got to see them name the baby, and it was like 100% it got to go in Ariella's way. It wasn't like Biniyam really had much of a say. In my opinion, not cool, and I am just not a fan. And if that was enough, we got to see Brittany and Yazan, and let me just keep them quick because I can't even, oh my god, I can't even fathom how much I do not like this couple either. Brittany, she was in Chicago, okay, then she went over to West Palm in Florida to go see her dad. She's been in America for like a month. She came back to finalize her divorce. Well, dun dun dun, she went to Chicago, and of course, you know, 90-Day Fiance fashion, she allegedly could not finalize the divorce. Didn't really seem to add up, but one thing led to another. She did end up staying in America longer than she was planning on it. She went back to Chicago. She ended up finalizing the divorce. So yay, yay, yay. Brittany is now single. She is not legally married. She was still in West Palm. She met up with one of her friends. She was kind of telling her friend the scoop. I honestly kind of think that just this whole thing is just fake at this point. I feel like Brittany is just faking this relationship just to be on TV. That's it. That's all I think. I don't even want to talk about this much more because it's so annoying to see. But she was telling her friend, it kind of looked like her friend was in on this fakeness too because her friend had like no emotion. And if this wasn't fake, I feel like a real friend would be like, what are you doing with this man? This is a horrible relationship. You need to run. But her friend was kind of just like, oh, whatever. So I think this is just completely fake. She did FaceTime Yazan, and guess what? Shocker. They fought like cats and dogs, like crazy, which is what they always do. So at the end of the episode, we got to see Brittany. She's going to the airport to go jump on a plane to go back to Jordan. Now, what is going to happen when she goes there? I don't have the slightest idea, but I can almost guarantee y'all that she'll be coming right back to Florida or Chicago very soon because I am like 99% confident they do not stay together. Then we saw the kind of somewhat nasty and just weird couple of Jenny and Sumit, and I only call them nasty and weird because they were talking about their romantic life and it was just it was not, you know, it was just gross. It was just really weird. Honestly, it was awkward, weird. I don't know why they felt the need to talk about that, but they did. But beyond the fact that they were talking about their romantic life, Sumit did say that he had some issue with this kind of a case with his ex-wife. I don't even know how this even entailed. I don't really believe much stuff that comes out of Sumit's mouth, but he claimed that his ex-wife filed something against him in the court, basically to get $500 a month and even try to kind of get him in jail. And so, you know, he had to go to the court. He made it all scary and nervous, and maybe he was scared, I don't know, but he went to the court, he was freaking out. Then we found out a few hours later that, oh my God, it's amazing, his ex-wife and her family dropped the cases. So I don't know why they would file the case. They were just going to drop it. Doesn't make much sense. Typical Sumit, it doesn't really add up. So I don't know what happened, but supposedly he went to court, his ex-wife dropped the case, and now he has to pay, I believe, one final payment of $10,000, and then, oh my God, his divorce is going to be final. Now, when is that going to happen? I don't know. The funny thing was, though, that Jenny did give him a ring because, you know, Sumit is always talking about having a ring ceremony, which, I mean, I want to hear from you guys. I don't know about y'all, but to me, it's like, what in God's name is a ring ceremony? Now, I don't want to sound all stupid. Maybe if I Google ring ceremony in India, it'll be some really common, popular thing. But it seems like Sumit is always talking about this stupid ring ceremony when Jenny talks about getting married. So maybe it's common, maybe it's real, but to me, it just kind of seems like he's trying to dodge the marriage question by just saying, well, we're going to have a ring ceremony. So I don't know if that just means have a wedding, get married, but it just seems a little weird to me. But for Jenny and Sumit, that was about it, because after the whole, case thing was dropped, Jenny was all happy. They were talking about getting married, and I don't know, so, hey, spoiler alert, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if they did possibly seal the deal and get married. I don't know for sure, yes or no, but I'm pretty confident Jenny's still in India, and we do know that she only had a couple months left. She could only stay in India for like 5 or 6 months, then she'd have to come back to the US, and it appears that she is still there, so likely his divorce did go through, and possibly he did marry Jenny. So wow, we just talked about a handful of bad couples. Let's go to something a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter, and that is Kenny and Armando. Now surprisingly, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. We did get to see some sunshine and rainbows though, because they finally left Armando's family. They're going to their home, their Airbnb, whatever, their condo, whatever it is, and they have Hannah. They have Armando's daughter Hannah. She's sweet, she's precious, and Armando was kind of teasing that, hey, you're gonna have your own bedroom and this and that, and she was just gung-ho ecstatic. She was so happy. It melted my heart. It was sweet to see, and honestly, I think Kenny, he was just over the, he was just unbelievably happy too. So they got to their house. They both read her, a good night story. It was pretty cool to see them come together as a family. So that was the sunshine and rainbows. The not so sunshine and rainbows though was the next day. They went to somewhat of a, market, county, I don't even know, I don't want to say county fair. It was like an outdoor market, basically. They were selling food and knickknacks and toys. And of course, Hannah, who was like 4 or 5 or 6 years old, she wanted all the toys because, hey, she's a kid. And also, it's like Armando is a single parent. He, I'm sure, kind of spoils her quite a bit. And so, Hannah was running around saying, I want this, and Armando was kind of just like, sure, and he was buying her a bow and buying her a toy and buying her a bunch of crap, and Kenny was standing there watching this saying, oh my God, it kind of finally dawned on him that, holy crap, they have totally different parenting styles. Kenny, he raised 4 kids and he was a single parent, while, Armando, he has the one kid. Yes, he is a single parent, but he has the one kid and she's still young, and so they have totally different parenting styles. And Kenny even went as far to say that Armando is kind of a pushover, which probably not the nicest thing to say, definitely not a compliment, so what can you expect? Armando, he was not happy. He was kind of offended. They bickered back and forth. They kind of hashed out their differences, and they both realized that, what? We parent totally different. We have different, parenting styles, and now we're going to come together and co-parent, so we need to kind of find a good, happy balance. I will say with Kenny and Armando though, I like them. I think they are sweet. I wish them nothing but the best. I think they're going to work out, but I will say they have some clear differences. Like, not only do they parent differently, but it's a big elephant in the room that, Kenny cannot speak a word of Spanish. And so I feel like it's a way bigger deal than anyone's really talking about, because it's like they're going around, now Hannah's in the mix. And so before, when it was just Armando and Kenny, it was amazing because Armando can speak perfectly fine English, but now, Hannah's in the mix. Hannah only speaks Spanish. So it's like Kenny is trying to kind of get in the mix, but for y'all that don't know, Kenny can't speak a word of Spanish. So it's this weird kind of a translation thing. Armando kind of touched on it, and it was just, not that it's awkward or weird, it's just kind of like annoying, I feel like, for everyone, that Armando has to be in the middle and translate for everyone. And it was like the second day that they were all 3 together, and you could see Armando was already kind of getting sick and tired. And I don't know if I feel like Kenny has it in him to learn Spanish. Maybe, for all we know, now in present day, the guy's fluent in Spanish. But I feel like Kenny, I do like him, but I feel like he's kind of impatient. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would ever want to go out of his way to learn a new language. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but I'm just not seeing it. I don't think he's going to do that. So they definitely have some differences, but overall, Kenny and Armando, they were doing pretty well. Now that we talked about a good couple, let's talk about a not so good couple, and that was Devon and Jihoon. And boring. To be completely honest with y'all, it was very boring, because if y'all don't know, let me just, set the record straight and say that Devon and Jihoon, spoiler alert, they're not together. And so we all know this. Jihoon and Devon, they must have broke their NDA and contract with 90 Day Fiance, because I don't know how they could leak this info, but they both clearly are open about it. Devon has a new man who looks an awful lot like Jihoon, but she has a new man. They're not together. She's back in the US. So I'm watching this stuff, and on the last episode, they were looking at wedding venues. They were looking about having a real, true wedding ceremony. Shocker, Devon wasn't very happy, which that kind of seems to be an ongoing theme. I don't know if she just doesn't like being in Korea. I don't know if she's just a nagger in general, but she really never seems to be very happy. So they were looking at the wedding venues. Of course, they're in a different country, and the venues were just different than what you would expect in America. Devon was not happy. We also got to see Devon and Jihoon go to Jihoon's workplace, where I guess now he's buying and selling cell phones. I don't know how he's gonna make any money doing that, but hey, I love a good business side, thing. And so if he's trying to do it, more credit to him. But still, it's kind of like, Devon was like, well, you just, got in trouble for selling cell phones that were stolen or whatever. So why are you going back into the cell phone business? I have to agree with her. It's a little bit odd, a little strange, but hey, if he can do it, great for him. So guys, 90 Day Fiance, that was about it, I believe, from the last episode. And oh my God. I am still so fired up about Ariella. I don't know if she's just getting bad cuts or bad takes, but comment below what y'all think. But for me, it just seems like with Ariella, it's her way or the highway. And with her and Biniyam, it's always her way. It is never even close to being his way. So that was really starting to fire me up. But guys, comment below what y'all thought of the last episode. I watched it and I do enjoy it. I love this show, but some of these people on this show, I am really starting to get sick and tired of. And I am super excited for the tell-all. I don't know when that is going to be. I don't know if they've already filmed it. I have no idea, but I do know I am so excited for it. So guys, please feel free to comment below your thoughts. Also, please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button and also tap that like button. It means the world to me and it helps out this channel. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.